This is a lecture from Open Tuition. To benefit from the lecture, you should download the free lecture notes from opentuition.com.
Let's go through and have a look at the world of financial liabilities. So remember from the very first video, a financial liability arises whereby we have an obligation to pay cash. So the financial liability and that obligation to pay cash are going to go through and arise from when we issue debt. So when we issue debt, we're looking to raise finance. So we are debiting bank and we are crediting our financial liability, aren't we? The key bit there upon our initial measurements, it is what do we recognise that financial liability at? Well, like all things financial reporting related under international rules, it's always at fair value, isn't it? So essentially, that's the amount of cash you receive. You debit your bank and you credit your financial liability. However, do just be aware, be on the lookout in case there are any associated transaction costs, because if there are transaction costs, we recognise the financial liability at your net proceeds. So by that, that's taking the proceeds less the transaction costs. So if you raise $2 million worth of finance and you pay $100,000 of transaction costs, you net the 2 million and the 100 off to get you the 1.9 million. Okay, because you've received 2 million as the proceeds, you've paid 100,000 as the transaction cost. The net amount that you've received is the 1.9 million, isn't it? So you debit your bank, credit your financial liability with the 1.9 million. So do just be careful if there are transaction costs. You deduct them from the amount of cash that you have received, okay, on issue of the debt. In terms of subsequent measurements, we're only really interested in amortized cost. So that is the reverse entry, if you like, of what we saw with our financial assets. So financial assets at amortized cost had interest income. We will now have interest expense. And when you looked at your financial assets, you had cash receipts. We are now going to have cash payments under your financial liability. So that's what the focus of the example at the bottom of the screen will be in a moment on your amortized cost. Just be aware there are no rules, if you like, in terms of your business model test and contractual cash flow test. That applies to financial assets only. If you like, financial liabilities at amortized cost is the default treatment. Okay. There are specific circumstances where you could have a financial liability at fair value through profit or loss, but that would be some funky, fancy, tradable financial liability that I'm not too concerned with at this point in time. In terms of your derecognition, you remove the financial liability when it has been paid in full or when it is transferred to another party. Maybe you've gone through there and paid somebody else to take that liability off you, and they will then in turn pay off that debt. Okay, but again, we're not too worried about that. We're more concerned about when you've paid off that debt in full. Okay, so let's go through and have a look at that little example that you've got at the bottom of the page. Nothing different from what you've seen previously at F7. If you wanted, feel free to have a go yourself and just stop the video. It's your choice. It wants us to calculate the amount to be shown. Is it in the statement of financial position, the statement of profit or loss for each of the 4 years of this debenture? Okay. So here, Norma issues, is it 20,000 redeemable debentures at the $100 par value? So we have issued debt, it is redeemable, so there is an obligation to pay cash, so it is therefore a financial liability, isn't it? 20,000 at 100, does that go through, I think, and give me $2 million? So that's the cash that I receive. However, there are also issue costs of 100,000. So I net those off, don't I? And that gives me, is it the $1.9 million? That's my net proceeds, isn't it? So I debit the bank, credit the financial liability with the 1.9 million. The debentures are redeemable at a premium of 5%. So 5% above par value. So 5% of 2 million is that 100,000. They will be redeemed at 2.1 million in 4 years' time and carry a coupon rate of 2%. So there's a contractual cash flow of 2% that needs to be made every year. That's 2%, isn't it, on the par value? So 2% of the 2 million. Okay, so is that there's 40,000. Again, however, when we're doing the accounting, we need to account for it based upon the substance. And the substance is that we borrowed 1.9 million. We're paying back not just 2.1 million, but also 4 years of 2%. So we need to look at the rate that is effective over the life of the debt. And the rate that is effective is there at 4.58. Again, you're not going to have to calculate it. It will be given to you within the question. The 4.58 is what we base the interest expense upon, isn't it? Okay. What we need to go through and do is we need to plug that in terms of our calculations and our workings to work out what happens on each year, isn't it? So what we've got there, we're going to look at the year. We're going to look at the brought forward. We're going to look at the interest expense. We will look at the cash paid to then give us, is it our carry forward figure? Okay. So year one, remember it's there, is it at your net proceeds? So is that 1.9 million, isn't it? So that's quite important that you don't just bung it in there. Was it the 2 million? It's the net proceeds at 1.9. Okay. There we go. You've also got there, is it the effective rate is at 4.58. So 0.0458 times 1900. So that's there, is it my 4.58%. That's there, is it as 87, isn't it? Okay. The cash paid is based upon a coupon rate. So is that there at 2%? The par value is there, is it at 2000? So that gives me there, is it, I think 40. So does that give me, is it 1947? Okay. Again, if you're interested in the debits and credits, which I'm sure you are, then here on the interest expense, you debit your statement of profit or loss, credit your financial liability, isn't it? Which is why we have added the 87 to the 1900. And then we deduct the cash paid, don't we? So there we go through and debit our financial liability and credit the bank. Okay. So again, we're accounting for the substance, and accounting for the substance means that we apply a rate, is it, of 4.58%. Year two, I have an opening liability of 1947. Does that give me, is it 89? And I deduct the 40. So 1947 plus 89 less 40 gives me a liability of 1996. Year three, 1996. 4.58% gives me, is it there, 91. The cash paid is still there as 40. Does that give me, is it 2047? And then in year four, 2047 times 0.0458. Shall we make that, we'll cheat and make it 93. Is that the case? And then when we go through and repay everything back, it's not 40 in the last year, it's 2140, isn't it? Because you've got the 5% premium, wasn't it? So 2047 plus the 93 less 2100 comes there, is it, to 40. So there's probably just, is it, a little bit of rounding that there is. We'll put that in, shall we say, inverted commas. Okay, there we go. Okay, so a little bit of rounding within there, but let's not worry about that too much, shall we? In the exam, you're only really concerned, if you like, with one particular year. Okay, excellent. Again, bits and pieces that are important is that the carry forward figure here goes to the SFP, doesn't it? And then the 87, the interest expense, goes to the statement of profit or loss. Okay, and again, what you see is that it applies the matching concept, because as you have a larger liability each year, you see that you have a higher amount of interest. Okay, so there you have it in terms of your financial liabilities. If you've got any questions, feel free to ask us on the forum. Other than that, there's not much else to add. We'll see a little bit more of financial liabilities when we look at convertible debentures a little bit later on. Other than that, I'll see you for now.